Back right here on The Place for Politics, MSNBC. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed over 11,000 Monday. That is the first time it's happened since September of 2008. It's enough to make some forget the devastating and dangerous days that followed. With financial reform high on President Obama's agenda, the blame game is kicked into gear once again from Wall Street straight to Capitol Hill. The Democratic National Committee is out with a new ad warning that it could all happen again if Congress fails to act. Take a look.
Trillions in savings wiped out, millions of jobs lost, homes and businesses foreclosed on. Wall Street's risk and greed cost us trillions. It could all happen again if we don't pass President Obama's plan to reform Wall Street. Reform that puts consumers in control. Strict new rules to hold Wall Street accountable. Tell Congress we can't afford another financial crisis. Pass President Obama's plan to hold Wall Street accountable now.
Tim Kaine is chairman of the DNC and former governor of Virginia, joining us now. Nice to visit with you. We appreciate it, Governor.
Glad to, Peter. Glad to talk.
Is it fair to say that there's plenty of blame to go around? I mean, beginning with deregulation under President Clinton and his administration's efforts to make mortgages more easily available to the masses?
Well, look, the issue is less about blame than about getting it right now and making sure that we don't fall into the trap of just sailing forward into what could be another significant meltdown. And so that's why Wall Street reform is so important to this president. And we really feel like there's two pillars. You got to have the right set of regulations to make Wall Street accountable, but most especially, we've got to protect consumers. And so consumer protection and Wall Street accountability are going to be the two pillars of this proposal.
I want to take a listen now, if we can, to how Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell characterized the bill on the floor today and get your reaction. Take a look.
Yep.
The bill gives the Federal Reserve enhanced emergency lending authority that is far too open to abuse. It also gives the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and the Treasury broad authority over troubled financial institutions without requiring them to assume real responsibility for their mistakes.
So what is your reaction to that from the minority leader today?
Well, I think it's interesting. I think he's mischaracterizing the bill because, look, what we know about the Republican leadership is that they've been meeting with Wall Street and trying to raise money to kill financial reform. And we're expecting them to pull out the stops against the kinds of consumer protections that are going to be in this bill. The bill's going to be up on the floor, we think, soon. There's going to be ample opportunity to air it, and we're going to have a chance to see who's on the side of protecting consumers and who isn't.
How do you answer the Congressman Ron Paul, the Republican of Texas, who says that President Obama isn't a socialist, as some critics have said, but a corporatist who is letting big companies run the U.S.?
Well, again, we'll see where Ron Paul is when a vote is cast on whether we're going to protect consumers or not. That's the heart of this bill, consumer protection. I think everybody's familiar with, credit card agreements or other kinds of loans where they write the print so minuscule you can't read it. It's page after page of legal gobbledygook and nobody understands what the terms are. Transparency of the terms and fairness of the terms is what this bill is about at its core, consumer protections. And, we'll see whether Ron Paul's for it or not.
And Governor Kaine, since our time is limited, just one final question. The #1 success of President Obama to this point and the #1 failure of his administration so far?
Well, look, on the success side, you've got to say our economy was in a free fall. GDP was falling, the stock market was falling, and we were losing 800,000 jobs a month. Now jobs are increasing, the stock market's going up, and GDP is increasing. It's like a massive V in all of those areas. The economic recovery, we still got a long way to go, but it's been strong because of this president. Healthcare would also be tied. This is a historic achievement of the president. If you're asking for a failure, there isn't a failure, but I do know this. The president is not content. We've got to go farther still on the economy to get it moving, and financial reforming Wall Street is a big part of it.
Tim Kaine, the chair of the DNC, joining us today live on MSNBC. Thank you very much, Governor.
You bet,
Appreciate
Peter.
it.
Glad to be with you.
The former mayor of Birmingham, Alabama, Larry Langford, is now an